kind of geriatric mums.
And then it's like the next couple of days he just pooed out a lot of worms. It was
Oh, they're so gross. How was your Valentine?
Noah had a sickness bug, and I got a call from school saying, please come and pick him up. So that was my Valentine's, yes. So then I proceeded to have a whole bottle of Prosecco afterwards, and then fell asleep, and then Noah puked again. Came and slept in my bed. Paul slept downstairs.
We had the same thing. We slept in different rooms with Ben because Mia had quite high fever, and when he went to bed, he was breathing like. I was convinced that he's got pneumonia or coronavirus or something, so I made Ben sleep in his room. So that was romantic.
Yeah.
What's the worst illnesses that he's had? What's worried you the most?
I think with Noah, he gets very high fever.
Yeah.
And we're talking about 40, 41.
Oh wow.
And Calpol doesn't touch it.
I think for us, probably one of the scariest ones was he was 1 and we were going on holiday. We went to Malta, and when we got off the plane, he just kind of projectile vomited all over Ben. They were both covered in sick at the airport, and then he just got really hot and quite floppy. And he was only 1, so they can't really speak and stuff. So it's like that was quite concerning. But it was like it was a day, and he was fine.
We had seen Noah, bless him, he had worms.
Oh.
And we didn't know what was wrong with him because he was just screaming out in pain that his bum was hurting. And we were Googling the hell out of it. And it's like getting to like 11 o'clock at night on a Sunday night, and and he was just screaming as soon as we put the lights out. Apparently the worms don't like the light.
Oh.
And then Paul accidentally stumbled on some sort of parenting blog saying that the child was complaining that they had a really bad sort of bum ache, and it turned out to be worms.
So
and
how
then,
did you spot it?
well, you take a flashlight and you look at their bum, and you can see the worms.
Oh, that's
It's
so gross.
awful, and we all had to take the medicine.
Oh, do you think you had the worms as well?
No bum ache for me. And then it's like the next couple of days he just pooed out a lot of worms. It was
that's so gross. Mia had really he was complaining about tummy ache, like the whole day he complained about tummy ache, and then kind of towards the evening it got really bad, and we took him to A&E. And it basically, he hadn't weed the whole day, so he had really bad constipation. And for kids, if they have really bad constipation, it can also stop them from passing urine. So he hadn't weed, so his bladder was so full of wee, and that was what was causing the pain. And basically, at the A&E, they told us, like, we're not going to let you leave the hospital until he wees. So we were just like in the toilet, just running the tap, and just, until he weed, and him screaming. And then he was in like this kind of anti-constipation medicine for probably a good few months.
It's the most common reason why small children go to see a doctor is constipation.
Is it? That's what they told us, that their system hasn't really developed properly. And the reason why they were giving him the medicine was because they didn't want him to have like negative association with
going to the toilet.
Yeah, going to the toilet, and that might make him try to avoid it even more. So it wasn't necessarily that he had to take it to be able to have shit. Nice. What else?
He had scarlet fever.
Oh, how was that?
But that was just very mild. He just
Fever.
basically had fever. But to be honest, it was one of those twilight years when I can't remember much because I was just so even more tired than I am normally.
Did you have chicken pox?
He had chicken pox, but once again that was very mild as well.
We vaccinated Mia against chicken pox.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
But because it's not in a national vaccination program, it's not 100%. But it's kind of like if he were to get chickenpox, it probably would be really mild. So.
Yeah. Noah's also had tonsillitis. He had tonsillitis a couple of times when he was a baby.
How did you notice that?
No, because projectile vomiting.
Oh.
And just like not being able to keep anything down. And I was at this point still reading all the baby websites and sticking to it to a T. And they were saying, well, high fever. If the fever doesn't go in 3 days, then go to the doctors. And of course I waited, and then we went to the doctors, and they say, oh, he's got really bad tonsillitis, and as I used to get tonsillitis, like swallowing razor blades, so it
Yeah.
would be awful. So every time he then fell asleep and the tonsils relaxed, they would kind of block the, and then they would be
Once again on holiday, he seems to have a lot of illnesses on holidays. We were in Tenerife, and he had his finger kind of stuck under a door, so and he cried a bit, but it was kind of, it's just a minor thing. But then the next day he got all kind of feverish and a bit not very well, and the finger kind of swell, and it was just filling up with pus, and it got infected, and we had to take him to a doctor, and they had to kind of empty it out and put him on antibiotics and stuff. But yeah, it was quite hard, and the nail came off and stuff later. So that was, I mean, it wasn't dangerous or anything, but yeah, that was unpleasant. We actually talked about this. This was one of my mummy fails, that he, when we were out on the beach in one of the beach restaurants, he took a sip of my wine and just spit it out because he thought it was juice. And the other day he brought it up. It's like, remember once I drank your wine, I thought it was juice, and I was like, yeah. And then he was like, oh, and then everyone laughed, and I was really embarrassed. And I think it's just that kind of like, as an adult, you don't always kind of, you don't think of them as, you know, that this might be really embarrassing for them. So that was really sad.
I think mine was that I didn't believe Noah on Friday when he said that he wasn't feeling well.
Oh.
I was just like, no, you're fine, go to school. And then literally they gave me a call and said he's fallen asleep in the office, come and pick him up. And I was like, oh no.
I know.
Well, and I've sent him to school.
Oh, well,
Oh, no.
happens. Anyway, cheers.